Well, actually, let's do Dom Szoboszlai while we're having that chat. 7.7 from SofaScore, 8.1 from Who Scored, 8.4 from Fotmob, and look, a goal and an assist. This was the performance that I think we've needed from him, Chloe. You know, more goals and assists from Dom Szoboszlai. That's the bar. Adds goal contributions to what you're doing. Mention that it's fine margins from the corner. He nearly cocks it up, but he doesn't. It ends up therefore being absolutely perfect. It's tantalisingly close to being taken off Salah, and then it drops him and he gets that. And I actually just thought his all-round performance. If you're gonna not play with the centre forward, then it made it. I think he's a little unclear sometimes in how much to attack and how, you know, and when to be part of the midfield and really dig in. Actually having the lads around him who were really, actually even Salah pitching in defensively, I think it was one where it said, you've got to, mate. You're key to how this game's going to play out for us. And I just thought he was brilliant.
He was brilliant, and I'll always start with his effort because, I mean, 94 minutes in and he's still pressing like a man. There's a ball that's gone right to their goalkeeper. Doesn't need to chase it. Don't know why he's chasing it, and he's still putting in the effort. He's never getting the ball, and it's like he just runs for fun. It's like he thoroughly enjoys it, and I don't like him for that reason, because how can you like running?
They're weird people who run for fun, aren't they? Like, imagine getting yourself signed up for a 50-kilometre thing to do, like, you know what I mean?
Absolutely loves it. But yeah, his work rate's brilliant. I really enjoyed him and Kurt alongside each other. The little triangles we were creating down that right-hand side is, you know, he could have had another assist had he had maybe kept a toe on side in that second half, and he knows when to release the ball as well. He gets unlucky, he could have a second goal, but the defender whose name I cannot say still, him, it's a great sliding block from him. He could have a second. He was just an absolute powerhouse today. That is what I'd describe him as. He was just absolutely everywhere. He had quality. He was on the off turn. He was overlapping Salah constantly, and his goal, lad. When you're in the area, you have the quality to score, believe it or not. Yeah. It's a great finish. And there's one before that where he sets in Diaz. I think Diaz, if he just shoots first time and bends it, he's got a chance, where it feels like Liverpool have messed it up. And the ball's to Salah, but Salah's got a man on him, and he just cuts back and feeds Diaz again, and Diaz takes another touch instead of shooting. Honestly, he was exceptional today. And he is an unsung hero because of how much work he puts in all of those games. You don't see the quality all the time, but today, my word, did you see it? His assist is really good in terms of, you know, it's clearly a play
you've got one chance to get that
and
right.
He's done it. Because you can't do it again, that's for sure. And his goal is superb. Wrong foot to the keeper, wrong foot to the defenders. Megs, a couple of them have that.
Do you reckon he's been watching, because the Merseyside derby the other week, he saw like Sadio Mane's winner at Goodison Park, because I had Daniel Sturridge all over it, the way he just like sat everyone down and cut it back the other way.
It's just glorious though, because you can talk about Szoboszlai, and for me anyway, when I talk about him, I don't think he shoots enough when he gets into good positions. I'm really listen, the Núñez one, I think Szoboszlai should have shot. But, you know, once Szoboszlai makes a perfect pass, completely different kettle of fish, you know what I mean? And I think, you know, you look at the one where he doesn't quite chip it over Ederson, incredibly difficult. You'd only probably expect the striker to be able to score that goal. But when he gets sort of 8 to 10 to 12 yards out, that's where I want him shooting. He looks, you know, you talk about numbers, Arne Slot talks about it. That's 4 goals, 3 assists now from 52 shots. I think he scored his 4 goals from, something like that. But it looks like it seems to be coming together for him, and I think he just needs to have a little bit more confidence and feel like he deserves to take those shots on.
Do you know what he's doing? He's shooting left-footed.
Yeah,
and because everyone knows that right foot is a rocket, and it becomes a bit obvious. So actually, cool, but don't gear it all up to that like it's an all or nothing kind of situation.
Cut it into your left if you want.
Because we've had players like that before, and they've got this particular. Happens to Risa as an example, or Didier Man. When that's your one thing, those shots take wind up. So you've got to have it all go your way, but be cuter. And we start to see a much more cute side of Dom Szoboszlai. I was thinking about him as I was driving in before, about how he's got all the things to be one of those players who, at some point in summers to come, Real Madrid will be throwing mad bids in, and all the other top football clubs in the world should want Dom Szoboszlai. They should be trying to steal him from us because he's got all the tools that will be there. But he needs to come alive in big games, and this was that. This is Man City, games, yeah. Huge game of football, so much pressure riding on it. Slightly less so because obviously Arsenal dropped points, of course, but
we don't have a striker playing. You're filling that role.
Yeah, I thought he was sensational.
And you're right. I think the left-footed thing's important because the other players know, obviously the defenders know exactly what he's going to want to do. But then you question mark, that opens up the right foot shot in other games, doesn't it? Because they'll know now he's scored a couple with his left foot and stuff.
Well, he had the one when he dribbled into the box through the week, and like that's because again, just do different things, but, mate. You good?
All I want to see from him is hitting the target. You don't need to hit top bins every single time to be goalkeepers in this league. If you strike it early, that like he's done there, you can get a goal. And that's what I think. Yeah. Sometimes he tries to be too perfect and hit it too hard and more. Mo's the fucking classic example. If Mo's not talking to him going, lad, the keepers are pretty shit, just hit the target, lad. Honestly, I've made a living out of just hitting the target. Like
the other thing about it is when you start adding that to your game, people don't pressure because they think you're going to run off them. Mm-hmm. So basically, that shot that you had against Brentford where it hits the bar, you'll have more opportunity to do that because they'll think when the ball comes at your feet or when Salah's got the ball and is running in, they think that you're going to come into my space. So I don't want to pressure in case I leave the space for you to run off me, which therefore means you've got space on the edge of the box to then do what you want to do as well and still create those moments.
He is that thing where, McAllister's there now. We see more of his role under Slot, and it's going to be a guy doing a lot of the Gini Wijnaldum style dirty work for other people. What happens with Gravenberch in the long term, we really don't know, but it does look like he's found his position in there. Szoboszlai, therefore, is the guy who is, if we're talking about an evolution of this side in years to come, we were saying what happens in the next year and the year after that. If the big boys move on, someone's going to have to step up from within this to be one of the big boys. And that's what I'm saying about Szoboszlai. This felt like a good example of that, where, if he's doing that in big games of football and having decisive impacts in those big moments, in big games, then we can trust that it's about handling on of the mantle. Yeah. That's how you win. That's how you create dynasties. Your old players will eventually move on, but you've got to have lads there to take that crown and carry it forward. This is a great example of him.
Fill the void. Mm-hmm. Listen, Arne Slot and was it Aaron Briggs, sorry. They could have picked anyone that corner goes to. Mm-hmm. They picked Dom Szoboszlai. Yeah. There's a fucking reason for that. He's clearly obviously good at it, you know what I mean? And, that's what you kind of want to see from him. And I think when the game plan is so, and this goes for Curtis Jones as well, the game plan really revolved around them too.
Yeah.
And that's, again, the manager saying, I'm putting trust into you two. I'm not putting trust into Mo and Diaz. I'm putting trust into you two. We're going to build our game plan for the City away around you two. That's good, man.
Absolutely. Was Dom Szoboszlai your man of the match though? Because there was some contention between him and Mo Salah getting it. I gave it to Alexis McAllister because I just love Alexis McAllister. It's so very much.
Silky, man.
Yeah. I would like to ask Gvardiol who he thought was man of the match and go with his opinion, because I'm guessing he'd say Mo Salah.
Once his blood finishes like well pooling around his body, yeah, definitely. Yeah.